Crazy Frog, or as he was lesser known by his friends and family, Craytholemew Zathaniel Frogamy, was a groundbreaking electropop artist from the mid-2000s. This ambitious amphibian took the world by storm with his 2005 hit Axel F, and was soon solidified in the hearts and minds of music fans everywhere. But that wasn't the whole story. Crazy Frog's meteoric highs were soon followed by the lowest of lows, his rise and subsequent fall hallmarking a pivotal moment in music history. It all started in a small pond north of Little Rock, Arkansas. There, a young Craytholemew was born as just a wee frog egg. Unfortunately, Cray's egg was placed in close proximity to a helium gas leak, completely deforming his lungs and vocal cords. Upon emerging from his egg, Cray learned that he was no ordinary tadpole. He soon realized he had a gift. The helium permanently altered Cray's voice, turning what was once normal tadpole chatter into his now trademark blood-curdling screech-like tone. From then, Cray knew he needed to master his craft. During this time, many species of fish and other aquatic neighbors went deaf from the underwater shock waves. All a necessary sacrifice for Crazy Frog to refine his skills. Fast forward a few months, and Cray had grown into a young and eager frog, ready to share his voice with the world. And his big break was right around the corner.
The day I met Crazy Frog was the greatest day of my life. I'm serious. I was doing a gig as a fisherman at the time, putting some hours in at the pond. I had just cast my rod, and all of a sudden this sound graced my ears. This heavenly melody that sounded something like a bring bring, like a ring ding. It was so high pitched that it nearly burst my freaking eardrums, but I was enraptured. I moved one of the lily pads aside, and there he was. This frog just singing his little heart out. From that moment I knew he was going to be a star. I quit my fisherman job right then and there, and I went up to him and I said, "Hey kid, I'm your new manager."
And that's when the journey began. With his new representation, Cray hit the ground running, touring the nation, performing at local restaurants, clubs, and even high school dances, all under his new stage name, Crazy Frog. One thing was clear. Everyone couldn't get enough of this little frog's stellar vocals.
Now, what was unique about Crazy Frog was that his pitch was able to reach a register far above any other living frog known to date. Not only was he a talent, but he was a marvel to science. No, seriously, he should have been dissected and studied by the government. He was a mutant freak.
And what came next was nothing short of incredible. Having earned enough money performing across the nation, Crazy's manager was able to pay for 3 days in a premier Los Angeles recording studio. History was about to be in the making.
So we booked the studio. I dragged Froggy in there and I said, "Kid, you've got 3 days to put together the most mind-numbing, ear-bleeding record this town has ever seen." And let me tell you, he jumped at the opportunity. No pun intended. Get it? Because he's a frog. I know other animals jump too. It seemed like a connection.
And record Froggy did. There was no holding back now. In 72 hours, Crazy Frog, in a crazed caffeine fugue, wrote, recorded, mixed, and mastered the entirety of his debut album. The legendary Crazy Frog Presents Crazy Hits was born.
Most of the songs were remixes or covers, but it still takes some effort. Give him a break. All right, he's a damn frog. You know how hard it is to write your own lyrics with webbed toes? Near impossible.
With several newly minted copies, Crazy hit the streets of LA, trying to get it in the hands of anyone who would listen. And eventually, they struck gold. Crazy's manager had somehow obtained a meeting with the head of Columbia Records. Crazy and his manager confidently walked into the office with a CD player and a dream. They hit play on what would become Crazy Frog's first hit single, Axel F. The sounds of this now world-renowned tune reverberated off the walls. The head of Columbia Records listened silently before finally speaking.
He said, and I quote, "This is the most god-awful track of audio I've ever heard in my entire life." That sounded like a disfigured goblin being ground under the wheels of a train made of sandpaper. And I thought we were done for. But then He turned back to us and he said, "It's perfect."
And with that, Crazy Frog was signed to Columbia Records. In a matter of weeks, they released Axel F as the first single, along with the accompanying music video of Crazy riding his now iconic invisible motorcycle. Needless to say, it was a smash hit. Overnight, Crazy Frog had become a household name, with kids in particular clamoring for more of Crazy Frog's crazy hits.
What really bolstered Crazy Frog's rise to fame and sustained it was the ages 3 to 7 demographic. It's not even that they really liked the music, it was the distinct high-pitched tone of Crazy Frog's lyrics that were activating the underdeveloped parts of the children's brains, essentially hypnotizing them. In layman's terms, for them it was basically audible crack.
The ever-growing audience was indeed addicted. With single after single, more and more people were joining the Crazy Frog Club, until it finally happened. On July 25th, 2005, Crazy Frog released his debut LP. Crazy Hits had hit the radio waves, and the music world was changed forever.
This album hit harder than anything I'd ever seen. It hit harder than Frog and Oates, harder than Froggy and Cher. It even hit harder than goddamn Frog Bon Jovi. We were in the money.
It's safe to say that Crazy Hits went #1 on the Billboard charts immediately, and then proceeded to go super ultra 10 times platinum. One thing that really set him apart from the rest was his controversial decision to go bottomless, full genitalia exposed right on the album cover. This was such a bold, artistic statement that we had never seen the likes of, just full frontal nudity, showing penis on the cover of your album. Unheard of. And then he continued to go bottomless throughout the rest of his career, in music videos, at concert performances, award shows. It was safe to say that he had lost the religious crowd, but he had gained a lot of points with the body positivity movement. I mean, the people loved it.
Crazy Frog took surprisingly well to the newfound fame and fortune. His millions of adoring fans meant the world to him, but one fan specifically more than the others. While on his first worldwide tour, a young frogess deep in the crowd caught his eye. Her name was Amphibiana. She followed him to every show before he finally invited her backstage. The two soon grew incredibly close, and as it is in show business, things were moving fast. After the final leg of the tour, the two eloped and became Mr. and Mrs. Craytholemew and Amphibiana Frogamy. Having solidified himself in the halls of music history and having found love in his dear wife, Crazy Frog was absolutely inspired and dove back into the studio to start working on the much anticipated follow-up. Now, with the support of the best producers and writers in the industry, Crazy Frog's next record was on track to become the greatest of all time. On June 26, 2006, almost an entire year after his debut album, Crazy Frog released Crazy Frog Presents More Crazy Hits, and the world rejoiced.
The kid was a genius. He took the last record and he put the word more in front of it. The people ate it up. I mean, I swear he was a prodigy. It was more covers and remixes, but it was from the heart.
From the heart, indeed. His heartfelt tribute to Amphibiana was now released for the world to hear, and it was another smash hit.
Now, More Crazy Hits was a success by all accounts. It may not have reached the heights of his debut project, but sophomore records rarely do. Crazy should have been ecstatic, but he was shocked, vastly disappointed even. Maybe not completely topping his previous album was weighing on him. Maybe it was the fact that the tribute to the love of his life wasn't connecting with the masses. We may never know the true answer. We can only speculate.
The only thing that didn't require speculation was the fact that Crazy, at the peak of his career, had slipped into a deep, deep depression. Retreating from the public eye, the world's most famous frog wasn't seen for several months. In that time, Crazy's downward spiral had begun.
That's when Froggy, he turned to drugs. I tried to stop him. I really did. I wanted to be a role model, the father figure that he never had. What? Did I do drugs? Of course, yes. I mean, it was the early to mid-2000s. I mean, everybody was on drugs. Come on.
Everyone, including Crazy Frog. To cope with his depression, loss of inspiration, and troubles in his marriage, Crazy had started heavily abusing drugs. And not just any drugs. Crazy Frog was partial to Colombian dart frog poison, a deadly and addictive substance. Before long, Crazy was completely hooked on this life-threatening narcotic, with each snort potentially being his last.
Many people don't realize the narcotic properties of the poison dart frog, and I, having minored in amphibiology, can tell you that it is quite potent. The sweat off of a dart frog's back, once inhaled through the nostril, can cause wild hallucinations and a comatose-like state. Also death, mostly death actually, like 98% of the time. I'm not sure how Crazy Frog was still alive at this point during his addiction, but it's quite miraculous.
Miraculous or disastrous. This marked a dark period in Crazy Frog's storied legacy. During this time, Crazy would tour and perform for several years in a drug-addled state, clearly a shell of his former self. It wasn't until 2009, an entire 3 years since his previous album release, that Crazy Frog, now almost always consistently high, controversially stepped back into the studio. What followed was nothing short of tragic. On August 25th, 2009, Crazy Frog released his now infamous third studio album, Everybody Dance Now. Upon its release, the album was despised by fans and critics alike. The spark was clearly gone. The once youthful and talented Frog had grown weary and jaded.
With Everybody Dance Now, the quality and ingenuity of the music just wasn't there anymore. The drugs had clearly altered his brain, rendering Crazy Frog's performance lacking in all matter of things that music listeners value. He had truly fallen from grace.
I tried my best to keep that damn record afloat, but the kid, he got off the rails. And his heart just wasn't in it anymore. I mean, he didn't even put the words Crazy Hits anywhere in the title. What was he thinking?
Due to the album's poor reception, Everybody Dance Now sold only 27 copies. A disastrous failure and a new drastic low for Crazy Frog's career. Needless to say, he was dropped from the record label the very next day, leaving the once acclaimed amphibian out in the cold, his future very uncertain. Upon hearing the news, Crazy reportedly took another snort of dart frog poison and then proceeded to drive his iconic invisible motorcycle through the Columbia Records front lobby before speeding off on an intoxicated joyride from hell. The following is a recorded 911 call originating from downtown LA of a bystander's recount of the incident.
911, what's your emergency?
Hello? Please, there's someone driving like a madman downtown. He's mowing through crowds. Please send help.
Sir, please calm down. Can you identify the assailant?
Oh God, no, he's getting closer. Oh my God. It's some sort of a salamander or a lizard. I don't know. And he's on like an invisible motorcycle. Please send everybody. Send the National Guard for Christ's sake. Oh my God, there's so much blood.
Can you tell me which street exactly you're on, sir?
I'm on, oh God, no, it's coming right for me. Help! Crazy Frog, while under the influence of dart frog poison, went on a drugged-out driving rampage through downtown LA, accidentally killing dozens of innocent bystanders and maiming hundreds more. After a several-hour-long police chase, Crazy Frog was finally halted once his invisible motorcycle ran out of gas at the city limits, the chase mimicking his classic Axel F music video. Another sad, twisted example of life imitating art. Crazy was immediately arrested and taken in for drug testing. It was found that he had over 70 kilos of dart frog poison in his system. This horrific, tragic incident officially marked rock bottom for the once respected Crazy Frog. We asked Crazy Frog's wife to recount her memories of the fateful event. This was her response. Crazy Frog was held without bail until his trial several months later, where he was found guilty of 42 counts of manslaughter, 322 counts of assault with a deadly vehicle, 1 count of resisting arrest, 1 count of operating an unlicensed invisible vehicle, 1 count of driving while under the influence, and 1 count of driving while amphibian. He was sentenced to life in prison. While it ended in absolute disaster, it's impossible to ignore the soaring heights of Crazy Frog's illustrious career. His work changed the music landscape forever and ushered in a new era of horribly annoying children's songs.
We owe so much to Crazy Frog and his legacy. The Gummy Bear song, Baby Shark, the list goes on. Each of these landmarks have Crazy Frog to thank for paving the way.
No matter what happens, I'll always remember Crazy as that little frog that I met all those years ago at the pond. And he was damn talented. I don't care what anybody says. That's always how I'm gonna see him. I'm sorry. I need a moment.
And many still do remember the Crazy Frog fondly, choosing to reflect on his catchy melodies rather than his murderous atrocities. And so, Crazy Frog still remains in the maximum security wing of the California State Penitentiary to this day, repaying his debt to society. As part of research for this documentary, we called to interview Crazy Frog from prison. He only had a short period of time to speak with us. We'll leave you with his words. Mr. Frog, do you have any words on how you reflect on your own legacy? Are you regretful? Are you proud? And he hung up, a fitting end to a tale of one frog and his passion for music. Thank you, and good night.
But anyway, if anybody's out there looking for representation, I'm available as a manager. Any anthropomorphic frogs, lizards, birds, we're branching out into mammals. If you're looking to get into the music industry, you know who to call. Whew, man. You want any? Dart frog poison? No? No, you're clean? Okay.